In the United States, 30% tariff on upholstered furniture. Kitchen and bathroom furniture, including cabinets and vanities, will be hit with a 50% tariff. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Offer not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Maxed out cards, rent is due. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
Maybe we should go to 27cash.com.
With our bad credit?
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
You're great at protecting your data, but lots of places could still expose you to identity theft. If that happens, LifeLock gives you the U.S.-based restoration agent who will stick by your side from start to finish. Phone calls, filing documentation, preparing insurance claims. Your agent handles it all. In fact, they're so confident restoration is guaranteed or your money back. It's nice to have an expert like that on your side. Save up to 40% off your first year with promo code Beck at LifeLock.com. That's LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
111 East Kilbourne, Milwaukee. CordellCordell.com.
What a year.
Can you count to 14?
And the Brewers are the first team in Major League Baseball in 2025 to 90 wins.
They've won a third consecutive National League Central Division championship.
The Brewers close out the regular season against the Reds in Milwaukee. Our Brewers game day coverage starts tonight at 5 with Brewers warm-up. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ. Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Petrano.
Trump administration's border czar Tom Homan defending himself after allegations he accepted a bag of cash.
Eric Bilstad.
A state senator is claiming the city of Milwaukee spent nearly all of its 2023 Act 12 revenue on government employee raises.
And traffic with Debbie Lozica.
Eastbound 94 at the ramp from Hawley Road, the left lane is blocked, so that means we got backups.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ. What's on Tap with Sandy Max, keeping you updated on culture and creativity.
The Wisconsin Film Office. We could say it out loud. It's going to happen. Academy Award winner John Ridley.
So I'm glad that Wisconsin is getting in the game. I hope they stay in the game. Wisconsin is great because it has so many different looks. It has so many different places. It has places that are untouched. It has places that are incredibly modern.
What's on Tap with Sandy Max. Weeknights at 6 on WTMJ. This year, it just feels different.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Listen to WTMJ as the Brewers make their charge to the postseason. Brewers playoff coverage is presented by the Neurospine Center of Wisconsin and featured by Annex Wealth Management, Boucher Automotive, and Delta Dental. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ. This is Brewers Warm-Up with Dominic Cotroneo. Your lineups, manager insights, and a preview of tonight's game right now. This is Brewers Warm-Up. Here's your host, Dominic Cotroneo.
All right, game 161. The end is near. Can you believe it? We're almost finished. Fan Appreciation Night here at American Family Field. Brewers still one win away from clinching the best record in the history of the Milwaukee Brewers. Today, they will send the rookie Robert Gasser out to the mound, the lefty going up against Andrew Abbott for the Cincinnati Reds. But let's give you the picture right now of the postseason. Only one spot still to decide in the National League. It is between the Cincinnati Reds and the New York Mets, who are playing right now in Miami. And the plot thickens. It is 3-0 Mets in the top of the 7th inning. Now, again, The offense has not been the problem for the Mets during this stretch for them. It has been the bullpen. Clay Holmes has gone 6 innings on just 78 pitches. I imagine they're going to ride him as long as they can. Maybe they hand it to the bullpen for the final 6 outs with like Edwin Diaz or something like that, but it's something we will monitor throughout Brewers warm-up because that game could go final before we even start our contest tonight, which is about an hour's time, 6:15 here on 620 WTMJ. The Brewers lost last night 3-1, so they have to wait another day to officially clinch the best record in baseball. Some good news to report on that front as well. The Twins already out to a 1-0 lead thanks to a Byron Buxton leadoff homer off Rangers Suarez. So we're keeping an eye on Twins and Phillies tonight as well, because if the Phillies lose, it does not matter what the Brewers do. Milwaukee will get home field advantage throughout the entire postseason. So we'll keep an eye on that score as well. Mets and Marlins this evening too. The Brewers today have an interesting-looking lineup. Pat Murphy talked about it. Hey, we're trying to be smart, give guys certain days off. Facing a tough lefty today, there's no need to redline it right now and see what they have. But in yesterday's game, they didn't get a hit beyond the 4th inning. The defense was good, not great. Now, Joey Ortiz made a couple of brilliant plays too, but Pat Murphy took himself a moment to kind of talk to the media, to his team in a way, to the fans, of just saying, look, this team's doing fine. Yes, yesterday was frustrating, but the only thing that really matters right now is October. They still have plenty to play for, and there's still plenty of positive signs that you can find and plenty of things that you can critique if you want to. Pat Murphy on the play of the Brewers these last, week to 10 days as they try to get the number 1 seed in baseball.
Guys, I mean, you can pick us apart every single day. You see us every day. I can too. Believe me, I can pick us apart. But I admire this team. I really do. I admire this team. Nights like tonight, we get exposed a little bit, and it hurts. But yeah, a lot of good performances tonight. If you didn't see what Ortiz did defensively, that was special. When we had Churio had probably 3 decent at bats, to lead the way there. But you guys have seen us win enough. We have to pile those at bats on top of each other. What
about that Reds team too? I mean, you've kind of praised them all season, and now tonight they find themselves in postseason position.
Yeah, I mean they're in postseason as of today. If it ended today, right? Because they're tied with the Mets. And they have the tiebreaker over them. So, Reds win and the Mets loss, they're in business. So, yeah, that team has been coming for a couple of years.
So the Reds can taste the postseason, but they're keeping an eye on the Mets. Again, the scenario: if the Reds just win out, they're in. It does not matter what New York does. But let's say the Mets hang on to win that game in Miami 3-0. The ball goes back into the Reds' court, meaning they need to win tonight in order to keep hold of their own fate. For the Brewers, obviously there's a lot less to play for, but you're facing a club that is playing with the tear on fire, but still only scored 3 runs against you yesterday. Use that to your advantage and try to get the job done today against the Redlegs. So in a moment, we're going to hear an interview with Ricky Weeks Jr. Now, you may hear me tag it with ESPN Milwaukee's because we had a little 2-hour show earlier today. We played it on there as well, but I think there's some great relevant information in that interview here for Brewers Warm-Up on WTMJ as well. We're all friends here. It's no big deal. We'll hear from Ricky Weeks Jr., Associate Manager of the Milwaukee Brewers, coming up next on 620 WTMJ.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. It's kindness, it's compassion, it's very specialized training. Their mission is to transform the culture of care, and they're doing that every single day. I've been in their places. I've seen how they love and take care of people with cognitive decline, Alzheimer's, or other related dementia symptoms. In part at Azura, they do such a great job because their staff goes through specialized training. They're going to take great care of you. Locations throughout southeast Wisconsin, Wisconsin-based, family-owned. It's Azura.
You'll get a new heat pump system, a new furnace, and a full home duct cleaning all together as a package at about half price. Half price! That's how it all shakes out. Not a gimmick. And both the furnace and the heat pump system are high-quality units. This is Anthony Zanevsky. All you have to do is purchase a heat pump system from Quality, and you'll get a free furnace and a free duct cleaning. All totaled, the cost would be about $20,000. When you add in the new tax incentives that you'll get back at the end of the year, you're going to end up paying about half. That's about $10,000 for a high-quality furnace, heat pump system, and a full home duct cleaning. It's limited time, and last time we did this, the units went pretty fast. So if your home needs a new furnace upgrade and a heat pump system that can act as a brand new AC system as well as a furnace backup, take advantage while you can and cut your energy bills substantially. Call Quality and get them while they're hot.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. Unfortunately, it's not too early to start thinking about those upcoming heating bills. At Hometown's huge New Berlin showroom, you can compare energy-efficient windows from Anderson, Pella, Marvin, and more. Like me, you'll get a dedicated project consultant to guide you to the products that best fit your home, style, and budget, along with employee carpenters who respect your home. Do what I did. Contact Hometown Windows and Doors today. Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. 414-329-1200 or online at hometownwindows.com.
Now, more of Brewers warm-up on WTMJ.
Welcome back here on ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Dom Cotroneo. Tony Cartagena joins us in just a moment. Right now, we're with Ricky Weeks Jr. Ricky, congratulations, another division title for your club, and this is 2 for 2 now for you in the associate manager role with Pat Murphy. You know, just take me through this season, just sort of in a 30,000-foot view of just, holy cow, you guys have a chance to be the best record in the majors and yet another division title.
Yeah, no, I mean, and it definitely feels good to be in this position. We talk about every year is different from the other, but when it boils down to it, we do have success. You know, you don't take it for granted. But yes, it's been 2 years in a row for us to get into this position. Now a little bit better than last year, I guess. You know, you could probably say right now, but at the same time, we're just fortunate to be in the position now that we are in right now.
You know, going back to St. Louis last weekend and getting the chance to celebrate and getting to see the guys go through it, you look around that locker room and you realize there are a lot of young guys that are pretty used to winning right now on this club. And maybe in your earlier years you could sense it coming, but there had to be some failures before you guys broke through. And having that understanding of how to win, do you think this team understands like what that has become and how important that has been for this club to learn to win? I mean, I think of guys like Bryce and Sal that don't know any different.
Right. No, for sure. I think so. You know, you can also take that wild card series last year as somewhat of experience or learning experience for that matter. But I think in totality, I think these guys have come up in a winning tradition here for a little bit now. So these guys are not used to not winning. You know, if that makes sense. So I think going forward, I think it's always stepping stones. It's always a process to everything. And so I think breaking that ice, I guess last year, getting to a position to win a division, to get in a wild card spot, to play against the Mets, and we didn't come out on top there. But I think going forward this year, I think a lot of those learning experiences that you get kind of fast forward. There's a fast track into this year, knowing that we're here for a reason because we did our job, we worked hard, but also there's more work to be done, I think, too.
What have you seen from this club? And you say every year is different, obviously, in the experience that you can take. What are the things that you identify that say, okay, this is the one these are the things that can help push through and be that team that, gets through a playoff series this October?
Well, you really can't put your finger on one thing, but I think the first thing that comes to my mind is confidence. I think last year we had confidence. Know we can do it, but I think this year how we kind of went about things, we didn't really panic early on in the year. The guys showed resiliency, so that goes a long way when you have players like that, and we have a clubhouse full of those guys. So now fast forward to now, the playoffs coming up. I think there's a sense of resiliency. There's a sense of, ownership. There's a sense of competitiveness that I think we saw a little bit more this year than last year, maybe. But again, we had it last year, but we just didn't get over the hump. So all things being said, I think these guys are ready to go.
We're chatting with Ricky Weeks Jr. here on ESPN Milwaukee. So, Ricky, you're working with Murph again, and you're associate manager. We've seen you up and down talking to the guys and having the, sort of the conversations with Murph, with the players, whatever. With your role, how have you grown in this role as now second year on the big league staff? How have you enjoyed it, and what are the things that you have been learning and appreciating about being on the coaching side of the big league level?
No, I mean, we all talk about it all the time. I know I'm hell-bent on it. You know, it's all about the players. You don't want to step out too much and talk about your own personal, I guess, track or personal accomplishments or anything like that. Because in this business, you know, you always side to the players. You know, we win ball games because of players. If you lose, maybe it's because of the staff. Who knows? But that's the reality about it, and you know that's what we got to deal with. But it really has been a joy though, being behind Murph and just a system where I can assist. And just going to just being there for the players if they have questions, if things arise, you know, just being that you know, that second man to the right of Murph and just to help out any way I can.
You've seen a lot of playoff baseball here in Milwaukee, obviously. What does it mean to you to actually be on this staff and have the chance to maybe be the team that has the most wins? Obviously, we know that 2011 team was pretty darn good, but now you have a chance to surpass that club this year. What does that mean to you?
No, it means a lot, but honestly, I don't think about it, be honest with you. Again, every year is different, and we could have won 90 wins and still won a division or had the best record in baseball, but we don't. But at the same time, the records are made to be broken, obviously. I hope we do it, be honest with you. But at the same time, it's, you know, the players have done a great job of putting themselves in a position of winning, and I'm just happy to be here for it.
Ricky Weeks Jr. joining us here on ESPN Milwaukee. Appreciate the time, Ricky. Hopefully we're talking all deep into October, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Don. Appreciate it.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. My wife recently had a major accident that involved her back. I felt blessed and lucky because Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin is on our side. She's on the way to healing. They've got the best imaging and best doctors, the best systems, and the best way of taking care of you. They've got experts when it comes to things like shoulders, knees, and hips. And it's not always surgery. Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin will take care of you from beginning to end. Go to their website, OHOW.com, OHOW.com. Request an appointment. Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
The dance of sunlight on water.
Shimmering, sparkling, beautiful, hypnotic.
Houses that overlook a gorgeous body of water are the most highly desired houses in the world.
The Bellamare collection of fine jewelry features classic white diamonds, flanked and surrounded by rare and exotic blue diamonds.
Bellamare means beautiful water.
Bellamare, sunlight on water, glimmering and twinkling.
The dance is enticing.
The look is spectacular.
The impact is exciting.
Blue and white diamonds created in the heart of Mother Nature
will dance and sing on the body of a glittering, sparkling woman.
Bellamare. This blue and white beauty of sunlight on water
should be worn on the fingers,
the wrist,
the neck, and the ears
of the woman you love.
The Bellamare collection is available only at Kessler's.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Back to Brewers warm-up on WTMJ.
Brewers and Reds, Game 2 of the final three-game series of the year. Another update from Miami. Mets hanging on to a 3-0 lead, top of the 8th inning. They did pull Clay Holmes after 6 innings. Brooks Raley had a scoreless 7th inning, and now I imagine it'll be Edwin Diaz to close out that game. The Mets need every win they can get. Even if the Mets go 2-0 and the Reds go 2-0, the Reds get in by virtue of the tiebreaker, so the pressure will be shifting back to Cincinnati if the Mets are able to hang on to that win today. Also, the Detroit Tigers, they are 3 outs away from clinching a playoff spot. They're up 2-1 right now, heading to the 9th at Fenway against the Boston Red Sox, with the Astros losing yesterday in dramatic fashion. Home run from Mike Trout in the bottom of the 8th inning. Astros do not hold the tiebreaker on either Detroit or Boston, hence why Boston is already in. So if Detroit wins today, they will clinch at least a spot in the playoffs. Cleveland doesn't get going until 6:15 as they are still deciding who is going to win the Central. But if Cleveland wins today, looking at, let's assume that Detroit wins. If Detroit hangs on, and Cleveland would then have to win as well, they remain tied entering today, but Cleveland holds the tiebreaker on Detroit heading into tomorrow's finale. So the Brewers are trying to get back on track here, try to win that 97th game of their season to set a new franchise record. Here is the starting lineup that they are going to roll out there today behind Robert Gasser, who's expected to go on a shorter start. More on that in a moment. Christian Yelich again in the leadoff spot. We'll break that down later in this segment too. Yelly is the DH. Jackson Chourio will hit second. He reached 2020 yesterday. He'll be in right field. Batting third is Bryce Terang. He had the lone RBI in yesterday's contest. He's got 79 on the year. He's at second base. The cleanup hitter is Andrew Vaughn. He is over at first. Isaac Collins, the switch-hitting left fielder, bats fifth. Caleb Durbin will play third base for the Crew in the sixth spot. Blake Perkins back into the order. He is the center fielder, batting seventh. Danny Jansen behind the plate today. He'll hit eighth, giving William a day. And then finally, Joey Ortiz will round out the order. Joey is the shortstop, batting ninth for the Crew. Yelich, Chourio, Terang, the top third. Vaughn, Collins, Durbin, the middle third. Perkins, Jansen, and Ortiz, the bottom third. For the Cincinnati Reds and Terry Francona, it goes like this, righty heavy with the lefty Gasser to start the game. TJ Friedl will start things off. He is in center. Noelvi Marte is the right fielder. He'll hit second. Miguel Andujar, acquired from the A's at the trade deadline, the DH again. Spencer Steer into the order, playing left field again today. The fifth hitter is the rookie Sal Stewart, who has started off his big league career with 4 homers in the span of about 2.5 weeks. He's over at first. Ellie De La Cruz, the shortstop, hits 6, followed by Tyler Stevenson, who's been white hot since coming off the injured list. Stevenson, the catcher. The 8th spot belongs to Key Brian Hayes. He's playing third, and Matt McClain rounds out the order for Cincinnati. He is batting ninth. Again, it is Friedl, Marte, and Duhar, the top third. Steer, Stewart, De La Cruz in the middle. Stevenson, Hayes, and McClain at the bottom. And again, Andrew Abbott for the Reds. He's 9-7, a 2.80 ERA. He's been fantastic this year against Robert Gasser, making only his second start back. Now, it's going to be a shortened start for Gasser because he's been purposely shortened for the Brewers, that they expect him, in order to be available into the postseason, is that they need to make sure that his role is really going to be more of a multi-inning role, somebody that the Brewers may use as an opener, somebody they may use once through the order if they have a window of lefties they're really excited about. But his role, as you heard in yesterday's Brewers warm-up, he'll do whatever the team asks of him. To follow, we expect to see Jacob Mizorowski. Caught up with pitching coach Chris Hook before today's game, just talking about what they expect out of Miz. And, you know, they want to keep him right around 45, 50 pitches if he can stay stretched out enough. If that's 2 innings, great. That's all they really need out of Miz in their anticipation of what they have available behind him today. They have Carlos Rodriguez available. They have even Eric Fetty available after throwing as long as he did the other day against the San Diego Padres. But the Brewers know they need a little bit of room because Freddie Peralta will have a shortened start again tomorrow for the Brewers. And Chris Hook called it like an accordion, right? As you shrink these guys, you don't want to shrink them too far that all of a sudden it takes a lot of effort to expand that accordion once again. So shortening them up, giving them a week off, and then ready for next week in the NLDS. On the Christian Yelich in the leadoff spot front, we talked to Pat Murphy about it yesterday, and he just, I asked, well, is this something to do with trying to get a little protection for Joey Ortiz? And that may not sound conventional wisdom, but Murph agreed that this is something that has been on the radar for the Brewers for a little while here. Just see what it could look like. It's not something that needs to be permanent heading into October, but do they think that Christian Yelich could be the leadoff guy in October? Maybe. Because they really like Bryce Terang in the 3 spot, given his production with runners in scoring position, how much better he hits with runners aboard. That being said, would you rather have Frelick lead off, Yelly hit third, and Terang hit fifth? That's 1 plate appearance less per series, for 2 to 3 per series for Terang if he's hitting fifth. So that's how all of this lineup works, and you don't want to just go lefty, 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 because then you leave yourself susceptible to a lefty window for an opponent. Now, that could be opponent-dependent, given a team like the Cubs. They have Taylor Rogers, but he still doesn't dominate lefties like you would expect him to. They do have Drew Pomeranz, but also in the event of these extra days off right now heading into the NLDS, the Brewers are going to have chances to refresh their bullpen, as will the opponent. Speaking of the bullpen, we'll wrap things up in our next segment with just looking at all of the injuries and giving you an update. Will they or won't they be available in the postseason? That's after this on 620 WTMJ.
I know why you continue to live in pain. It's because you don't believe anything can be done to help. Maybe you bought into something and you've been burned before. I mean, your skepticism. It's understandable. This is Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and here we use powerful, anti-inflammatory, and cushioning pharmacological medicines to ease your pain. They're FDA approved, and most medical insurance is going to pay for our treatments, including Medicare and Medicaid. And that's the litmus test. Because if insurance has shown to cover the cost of many of our patients' treatments, you can be sure it's valid medicine. It's not a biological treatment considered experimental, or some new gimmick that's trying to hook you. The Rejuvenex approach to pain relief is legitimate. It helps to alleviate pain in shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees. And from what we've seen, it gives people a new lease on their lives.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Call today, and there's a good chance we'll see you tomorrow.
Well, we decided to develop our own mattress line, I think, purely from a quality standpoint again.
We wanted to go the opposite way the industry was going. The industry was cheapening things, and we didn't believe in that.
Ben and Arvid Huth, brothers and owners of Penny Mustard Furnishings.
The entire mattress industry has gone to one-sided. We still believe, and I know in my heart, that a two-sided is going to last you longer. You can get more comfort out of it.
That's the reason that we put higher density foam in the mattresses, is so that they're comfortable for a longer period of time. It goes back to just wanting people to be happy, not now, but 5 years from now, 10 years from now. I want them to look back and say, wow, I bought that a long time ago and I'm still really happy with it. That's true in our mattresses, it's true in our furniture. We don't want you to buy something and 5 years from now, you're like, oh, it's falling apart.
10 years from now, the customer shouldn't have to replace the mattress because it no longer supports them.
They can, but they don't have to.
Right, and that's how we build it.
See more at pennymustard.com.
15, 20 years from now, that mattress is still going to have good support.
Somebody can still use it.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, more of Brewers Warm Up on WTMJ.
Brewers and Reds, the end of the season is near. Fan Appreciation Night should be a rocking crowd here at the ballpark. I'll be with you after the game today as well. And a reminder, if you're listening at home, the game is on Fox tonight, hence why the 6:15 first pitch. So if you're somebody that syncs up your television to us here on the radio, it's on Fox. That's where you can find it and listen to us. And then this is also my PSA to everybody as we get ready for postseason baseball. And I think everyone else would agree with this, even who works in network television, as I do. As we approach the best games of the year, and you're so used to your announcers, you can still listen to your announcers and watch the game. We're right here for you on 620 WTMJ. If you want to listen to Jeff and Lane call it on radio while you're watching the pictures at the same time to hear your announcers, I encourage it. Us on network TV, we don't mind. It's okay. We want you to be excited to still watch the game while listening to your people. Or you can just straight up watch the game as well and dust off that old Sony Walkman somewhere in a drawer at your house. It's still going to work here at the ballpark, and you can listen live, no delay. If you listen on the internet, there's a delay. So I encourage it over and over and over again. Bring your Walkman, dust it off, put in some new AA batteries, and enjoy your playoff at the ballpark with some live radio. Jeff and Lane will have the call during the postseason. That being said, the Brewers have some key members they need to get ready for the postseason. First and foremost, the closer. How about Trevor McGill? News today from the clubhouse is that he fully expects to be activated tomorrow, even if it's just for one batter. He wants to get in there. He wants to see what he's got. And furthermore, the Brewers, again, will have Monday through Friday off of next week. More time for him to recover, probably throw another simulated game. And the benefit that the Brewers have with Trevor McGill, at least in the DS, is that there are no back-to-back games until game 3 and 4. And you can use the closer in game 1, have an off day, game 2, have an off day, game 3. So in the event that the closer is pitching all 3 of those games, that means you're sweeping, right? That's a good sign. But then you then run into the, would he pitch in back-to-back between game 3 and game 4? And then furthermore, in the NLCS, if you make it that far, it's back to your traditional 1 and 2 are back-to-back, 3, 4, 5 are back-to-back-to-back, 6 and 7 are back-to-back. So I don't imagine the Brewers would be using Trevor Megill in a back-to-back coming off of a flexor strain, but all bets are off coming into the postseason. But that is great news that Trevor Megill expects to be activated tomorrow. Another guy the Brewers are expecting to activate tomorrow is DL Hall. It may not sound like the most important acquisition, but I promise you, every lefty that you have available to your disposal, especially if you're facing a team like the Padres or even the Cubs, like PCA struggles against lefties. Michael Busch has had an up-and-down year against lefties. Ian Happ is worse from the right side. There are ways that you can manipulate your bullpen to use these lefties, in addition to a guy like Robert Gasser, who's available today, to make sure that you get the platoon advantage as much as you can. And then finally, Jose Quintana, speaking of lefties, feels like he's good to go. He'll throw another sim game this week during the bye week, and then decide what the Brewers are going to do with him heading into maybe a Game 3 start, also opponent dependent. He's recovering from a calf strain that he suffered 2 weeks ago, but he feels good to go, totally fine, 45 pitches yesterday, and is excited to get back and pitch in the postseason. Today, Sal Frelick is getting a day off. They're facing a tough lefty. Nothing to be alarmed of there. Something to monitor, though, is William Contreras. Since he got hit on the follow-through by Ivan Herrera last Saturday night in St. Louis, and he got hit in the wrist, he hasn't got a hit since then. So we're going to monitor that. He has a day off today. I imagine he's going to be in there tomorrow with Freddie Peralta, and maybe at some point in the middle of the game, him and Freddie are going to exit together as their final tune-up to get ready for the final game and into the postseason, because that's quite frankly the only thing that matters right now for the Brewers, the postseason. That's all they care about. So if you want to predict and guess and get ahead of yourself of what are the Brewers going to do, it's opponent dependent, but let's just go with the starters. Freddie Peralta, Game 1. Quinn Priester, Game 2. Let's say Quintana's healthy enough to go Game 3, but you'll have guys like Chad Patrick and Robert Gasser available to you if you do need to have one of them start instead of Quintana, depending on the opponent. And then you're back because of the off days to have Freddie Peralta and Quinn Priester available for Game 4 and Game 5 on normal 5-day cycles for those guys. As far as the lineup card goes, we said this in last night's program, there's no rule that says you have to have the lineup on your Game 161 in October. They can still flip it around and have Sal back in the leadoff spot, Yelly hitting third, and Terang hitting fifth. That's the lineup that I would be doing personally, but the Brewers still also need to figure out what they're going to do with Jake Bauers and in left field. It seems as though they wanted to give Jake Bauers as much runway as they could in left field to decide if they felt comfortable starting him in a game in left field. Yesterday's error did not help his cause. It led to the beginning there in the 5th inning. But you know Isaac Collins has had a weird September, hitting about $150 this month. His defense hasn't been the same as it was earlier in the season. It's something to monitor. And then if you just put Jackson Chourio in left field, that means Blake Perkins plays center, and it's important to get Blake Perkins' bat going in the right direction as well. He's only hitting .230 on the season, but might I remind you, here in September, hitting .273, a .711 OPS, only 3 extra base hits, but one of those is a triple. He still has very good plate discipline, too. But I also want to remind you about the postseason last year. Very quietly, Blake Perkins put together in his 2 games, he went 3 for 6 with a walk and a stolen base, even had a sacrifice fly in his 8 plate appearances. He turned it on last October. Maybe he can do the same, because if I had to guess right now, I think they would put Blake Perkins in center field. They value defense that much and keep Jackson Chourio in left field because they know what to expect with Jackson Chourio in left. Let Perkins run around and roam all that ground in center field. And even with Perkins in center, you can cheat him a little bit toward left, knowing you've got Sal in right and all the range that he can cover as well. That's something we'll talk about in the lead-up to the postseason as the Brewers try to decide what to do, what is the optimum lineup to get them ready for the postseason. So as we get ready to put the final countdown on here on WTMJ, I'll be with you after the game today as well to react to all of it today. One last scoreboard check. The Mets, top of the 9th inning, 3-0. They lead the Marlins. And Edwin Diaz will have the 9th inning. They did not use him for 6 outs. Tyler Rogers had a scoreless 8th. So Edwin Diaz will go for the 9th inning in that one, leading by at least 3. Meanwhile, the Phillies, they are trailing 1-0 through 2 innings at home. If the Phillies lose, the Brewers are the 1 seed, regardless of what happens here at American Family Field. That is going to do it for this program. I'll be with you after the game today as well. Our producer has been Evan Witalison. I'm Dom Cotroneo. On the other side of the break, the On Deck Show. Keep on swinging.
Are you looking for an accounting firm that can service your growing business's needs? SVA certified